been making videos for a while and I've accumulated quite a bit of gear. And in all this time, I do get asked quite a bit what gear I use. So today we're gonna go through my camera bag and I'm gonna show you what gear I use to make my videos and to take my photos. First off, we're going to talk about the bag because that is kind of a very important piece. I just got this one recently. This is the Lowepro Flip Side 300 AW. It's kind of more of a medium to big size bag. I got this because this year I actually filmed 3 weddings back to back, and previous camera bag, which actually let me show you it real quick, is this little guy. This is a great bag, but it's just not big enough for all the stuff that I needed. So, but I still like this bag and kept it for more of a travel, like hikes and stuff like that, because it can fit your camera and another lens, throw the drone in the top if you want. So great bag still, and I like the size of it. But yeah, I got this one for the reason of just holding more gear opposed to being a split bag. Anyways, yeah, great bag, would recommend. I like the Lowepro stuff. It's also got a holder on the side here that I can put my gimbal or even a tripod, and then it has quick access to the camera, which I don't ever actually use. I just open the back. And then the last thing it has on the, you'll see here, this is like a hard material here and here. So when you put the bag down, you're not going to actually press on anything that you're storing in here, which currently the only thing I actually have in here is my mount for GoPro when I'm doing POV shoots. The GoPro goes here. This goes around my neck, and then GoPro will sit here, and that's how I get those shots. Yeah, this thing's been pretty good. Okay, let's get into the actual bag. So first off, I have this, which I'm filming with. My main video camera is the Sony ZV-E1. It is a fantastic camera. I can't say enough good things about it. I did make a video on it before. I'll have it linked up if you want to see that. But yeah, I've been using it for a while now. I filmed the 3 weddings, like I said, with it, and I have been learning S-Log 3 with it, so it has overall been a very good camera for me. But yes, it's not in here because I am filming with it, and as well as my Tamron 17-28 lens is paired on it right now. So yeah, that's why you don't see it in here. But regardless, let's move on. I have my second camera, or B camera, which is also my photography camera. This is the Sony A7C. I've had this camera for a few years now. Love it. It's a great camera. It does that hybrid job of video and photo. But I upgraded to the ZV-E1 for video because I wanted to start getting 10-bit and learning S-Log. So yeah, I don't really use this for video anymore unless I just need a second camera. Like at the weddings, I would have this on a tripod with a big lens, and I would do the audio to it, because this camera, I don't need to worry about overheating like I do with the ZV-E1. So for long talking head stuff, this is better. So I use it as a B cam, also for recording audio too, with what's in here. I currently have a Rode Wireless Pro 2 microphone, receiver, transmitter, yada yada, that when I got initially for the weddings, the first wedding I did a long time ago, so I could have a microphone on the groom to get vows and stuff like that. So that's primarily what I have this for. I'm actually thinking about upgrading these to the DJI Mic 2 because I have just the standalone DJI Mic 2 that I use for the Pocket 3 camera, which I'll get to in a minute here. And the fact that this does raw audio and it can record to itself internally as just a standalone microphone. This thing's really handy, and I've been using this a lot more than I've been using the Rode. So I've been thinking about actually upgrading the Rode to just getting the full kit for the DJI Mic 2 and just have one charging case kit, which I think would make a lot more sense. That's a future plan, but I haven't done it yet because this is still working. Extra lens wise, I have a 50mm that I do for photography mostly, and sometimes for like gimbal work. I really like the 50mm. It's probably my favorite focal length that I own right now, but this particular lens, it's like the cheapest 50mm that Sony makes. It still looks great, but the autofocus is very unreliable, so I do want to upgrade this at some point. But 50mm is like my photography go-to these days. I also have this lens, a Tamron 70 to 180. It's a great lens, and I use it for like the weddings and stuff like that, and I have used it for a bit of photography, but overall, I don't use this that much, but I use it enough to want to leave it in my bag all the time. So it's here if I need it, but I don't actually use it as much as I would like. But maybe I'll get experimental and try to use it more. In here, this is where, you know, action camera style things. So I have the DJI Pocket 3. I use this for filming rollers. I have a whole video on it if you want to go see that. This is a fantastic camera though. I also use it for like vlogging style videos if I wanted to be, you know, not carry a big camera around. I know this is very useful. I think it's a worthwhile having camera, and the tracking lets you do creative things with your video. Really great camera. I would highly recommend it. Also in here I have ND filters for it and for the drone. And then this is also where the GoPro would live, but I have the GoPro up here right now, filming this top down. So, and it's a GoPro Hero 11. It's the one when they introduced the full sensor recording, like the 9x8 or whatever it is. I can't remember. I'll put it up here so you see it. Anyways, it's the first one to have that. It's really good. Would recommend. The newer ones after that, not really worth the money in my opinion. Just that one is probably the best one to have all the features that you want. For the drone that I leave in here all the time, because I actually use this quite a bit, is the DJI Mini 3. Didn't upgrade to the 4, didn't feel it was worth it. The only thing it has that I would want is 10-bit color, but otherwise this is basically the same drone. DJI Mini 5 has enough stuff to make me want to upgrade. I'll probably do it, but for now this has been amazing. Yeah, that lives in here as well. Yeah, so that's it for the main stuff in the camera bag. Oh yeah, I guess this is important too, the controller. I have it up here for the drone. Okay, so other things that are living in here is I recently got this guy. I'm not gonna try to pronounce the company name because it's something off Amazon. It is a battery charging bank for Sony batteries, like for the bigger style ones that the A7C and the ZVE one use. And it also came with 2 batteries. I think the thing was like 70 bucks Canadian for this whole thing. And it also has a location to store extra SD cards. So that's pretty cool. This thing has been useful. With the weddings, I needed more batteries and I needed more memory for my cameras. So this being a little carrying case that charges and does everything is great. The batteries that came with it too, because they're not official Sony batteries, have been decent. Obviously not as good as the actual Sony ones, but good enough for what I needed. And then another added bonus to this thing too is that, as well as, you know, putting power into it to charge it, you also get a USB out, so that if you want to use it to charge your phone in a pinch, this can be treated as a battery bank. So that's pretty cool. Like, you know, even charging the GoPro or DJI Pocket, or even the drone, technically, you could all charge it off this thing. It'd be super slow, but you could. So that's a good in a pinch thing. And then the other thing is just ND filters. I don't have anything fancy for ND filters. I definitely need to invest in some better ND filters. But I just have one that's always on this lens, and one that's always on the lens I'm using there now, which has the same filter thread as this. So that's kind of covers my bases for that. That is pretty much it. The only other items that are not obviously in here all the time are tripod that is currently holding the camera, and then I have the DJI Ronin 3 Mini gimbal. That's a mouthful, that whole name. That I use for my gimbal work. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I wouldn't say this is like the most professional kit ever. Obviously, the cameras themselves are quite good, but otherwise, this is a little bit more on the budget side of things, just because I don't have a lot of money, and I've collected all this gear over the years. This is, you know, 5 years of buying and upgrading and getting to this point to fill this out. But this does everything that I need to do right now, and yeah, I'm happy with it. So I will have links down below for all the stuff in here. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments, and maybe I'll do this again next year and see how much it's changed. But yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.